Hello guys, welcome to 91 Bikes, your one stop to rediscover yourself. At 91 Bikes, we have a range of products that provides you world-class components, the best cycling experience, and is India's fastest growing active lifestyle brand. In this video, we have specially curated a complete guide to the home installation of your e-bike to ensure that you get a seamless experience for assembling the e-bike. When you receive your e-bike in the packaging box, place it upright in an open space where you will be comfortable in working. Meraki comes 85% pre-assembled inside the box, and in only a few short steps, you will be ready to ride your dream machine. So let's get the wheels turning. Unboxing your Meraki. Look at your e-bike box package from outside as well as from inside carefully for any significant physical damage. If you find any damage or dents, please take pictures of the same from all the angles and inform 91 Cares at the earliest on the contact details mentioned here. So now that your product is intact, let's start with assembling it further. Use a pair of sharp cutter or scissors to carefully cut the safety strap along with the carton. The straps are tight, so be careful while cutting them. Note: cutter or scissors are not part of the accessory kit provided with your e-bike. Now remove your e-bike carefully from the box. You can use the box as a soft cushion for yourself and the e-bike during the assembly. Note: your e-bike can be up to 23 kgs, so we recommend you to take someone's help in getting your e-bike out to avoid any scratches or damages. After you have removed all the parts from the box, ensure that you have the following parts: frame, handlebar, front tire, saddle, right pedal, left pedal, front reflector, rear reflector, charger, quick release, Allen key size 4, Allen key size 5, all size key. If any of the mentioned parts are missing, please inform 91 Cares at the earliest. Details on your screen. Now use a pair of scissors or cutter to remove all the cable ties. Be careful not to damage the paint on the e-bike. Then untie the front wheel and the handlebar from the frame and keep them next to the cycle. Great! You are already a pro in this. Now let's move on to the stem installation. For this, we will use a size 4 Allen key. First, rest your e-bike on the rear wheel and fork and make sure it's stable enough for you to assemble the bike. Now you need to first loosen the steerer clamp bolt and adjust the direction of the stem to the front of the cycle. Make sure it's perpendicular to the head tube of the cycle. Once aligned properly, tighten the bolts which you had to loosen earlier. Moving on with the next section of your bike installation, which is the handlebar installation. For this, we'll need the white front reflector, size 5 Allen key and a Phillips screwdriver. Start by removing the plastic wrapping on the connector and make sure all the cables are untangled before assembling the handlebar on the stem. Rotate the whole handlebar if in case you need to untangle them. Remove handlebar clamp bolt and fit the handlebar on the stem. Ensure that the handlebar is in the center and sits aligned with the stem. Start tightening the bolts. Note that it's very important to tighten the bolts diagonally and ensure that all the bolts are tightened completely. Next, make the brake levers parallel to the handlebar. If not, make sure you align them properly and then tighten the nut on the brake lever. Note that the nut is on the bottom side of the brake lever. Do this for both brake levers. Here's a quick tip. As a check, ensure that the brake levers don't move with hand when tightened completely. If they move, tighten the bolts further. Install the front reflector on the handlebar on the left side of the stem using a Phillips screwdriver. Fantastic! Wasn't that easy? Now let's fit the front tire to get your e-bike up and ready. Installing the front wheel with quick release. We will need the front wheel, the quick release and all size key for this step. Remove the dummy axle from the fork. The nuts can be loosened by hand. If needed, use a spanner for the same. Next, slowly insert the front wheel into the dropout of the fork. The fork should be rested on both sides of the front wheel. Ensure that the rotor of the disc brake fits into the gap of the brake pads. Insert the quick release into the axle. Note that there should be a spring on both sides of the quick release, which is on the nut side as well as the lever side. Now press and hold the front brake lever while you are tightening the quick release. Start by tightening the nut completely. Then rotate the lever on the quick release clockwise. Once resistance is met halfway, press and lock the lever as demonstrated here. Here's a quick tip. A fully tightened nut will leave an impression on your hand when locking the lever. Now let's complete the wheel installation. Keep the front wheel in the air and spin it using your hand and check if you can hear some squeaking noise in the wheel or the brake rubbing with the wheel. If you hear any such noise, you don't need to worry, as we will be adjusting the disc brakes and other parts moving ahead. But if you still feel there's something wrong, do feel free to get in touch with us and we will be happy to help you. Disc brake adjustment. In most of the cases, the brakes are fine. So you can skip this section and move on to seat post and saddle installation. So let's get rid of the noise in the disc brakes with just a few quick steps. If your lever pulls all the way into the grip and if you just need a little bit of adjustment, you can unscrew the barrel adjuster. If you keep turning, it will create more tension on the wire and then you will be able to stop around halfway from the grip. If the brake lever is still touching the grip or is going in more than 3/4 ways, then you have to tighten the cable near the disc. Then down here on the disc machine, there's the cable which got an Allen bolt. You just have to loosen up the Allen bolt a little bit and then when it's loose, it will allow you to pull the cable through. Pull the cable through and tighten it up so there is more tension on it. You just want to test for the right amount of pressure on the lever and get it to a point where you've got the adequate tension. Once the brake lever is adjusted where it reaches at the halfway point, then all you need to do is tighten the barrel adjuster. Now, if your brake is making any noise while rotating the wheel, then the caliper might not be in the center. So in order to adjust that, you need to just untighten the caliper first by loosening the 2 Allen bolts, which can be done by size 4 Allen key. Now the caliper will be able to move back and forth. Next, apply the brake using the brake lever, which will center the caliper. While you are still holding the brake lever, tighten up the top and bottom bolts which you had loosened earlier. As a check, if we look down next to the disc, we can see a little bit of space on either side between the disc and the caliper. Now if required, we can tighten the brake lever as described in the earlier section. Repeat the steps for the other wheel as shown above if needed. As a check, pick up the wheel and spin it. And just make sure that your brake isn't dragging and the noise is gone. Great going. We are almost there. Seat post with saddle. Now let us install the seat on the e-bike. For this, we will need the rear reflector, screwdriver, all-size key and saddle, which is pre-attached to the seat post. All you need to do is to readjust the saddle as per your comfort. Start by inserting the seat post into the seat tube. Then tighten the clamp by rotating the nut clockwise. Check if you feel tension halfway while rotating the lever in. Once you get a proper tension, you can press the lever to lock the clamp on the seat post. Next, loosen the nut on the clamp of the saddle using the all-size key. In order to realign the saddle position, adjust the saddle up and down so that it is perpendicular to the seat post. To ensure that the seat post is centered with cycle, align it to the center of the top tube. Once it is set, hold the saddle in that position and tighten the nut using the all-size key. Check if the nut is tight enough by trying to move the saddle by hand. Now install the rear reflector on the topmost position of the seat post. The reflector should be pointing backward so that anyone who comes from behind can spot you easily. Now use a Phillips screwdriver to tighten the screw of the reflector. Awesome! You have done great. All that is left are the pedals and we are ready to go for our first ride. To install the pedals, all we need is the spanner and both the pedals. The left and the right pedals are marked with the letter L and R marked on the axle. Right pedal. Fitting the pedals is very simple but requires attention. The right side pedal can be identified by R marked on the pedal and fits on the chain side. The right pedal tightens in a clockwise direction. Rotate using a spanner to tighten completely. Left pedal. The left side pedal can be identified by L marked on the pedal and fits on the non-chain side. The left pedal tightens in an anti-clockwise direction. Rotate using a spanner to tighten completely. Ensure no threads on both the pedal are visible. Here's a tip. Rotate pedal with hand to check. That's it. We are done. Let's quickly do some final checks. 1. Adjust saddle height so it matches your waist. 2. Take your e-bike for a quick ride. If you face any issue and need further assistance, please call our 91 Cares helpline. Finally, our assembly is completed and now we can move on to the final step, which is charging your e-bike. Always connect the charger to the AC or mains normal home socket first. Once the LED on the adapter turns green, plug in the charger, then the LED will turn red. Plug out the charger once the LED has turned green again, which indicates full charge. The maximum charging time is 3 hours and 12 minutes. We strictly recommend not charging the battery for more than 4 hours. That's it guys. You can now enjoy riding your e-bike. In case you need any further information, we recommend you to watch our detailed video covering the features and specifications of Meraki. Link in the description. We thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more cycling tips and updates on 91 bikes. We'll meet you soon in the next video. Till then, keep cycling and reclaim the outdoors.